wisdom teachers, gentle healers, and bold leaders of our global awakening. Welcome to the Joshua Jordan Experience. Listen to gather mystical insights for an extraordinary life. Hello, it's my pleasure to be talking to you again. I recognize that I've picked up Joshua's signature hello. Whenever I bring him through and he starts to talk to a group, he always starts by saying hello. So I've started doing that too. It's kind of like our chorus is working well together. And I've picked up this habit of just saying hello when I greet you. And I am honored to talk to you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I've decided to just have a very casual conversation with you and let my mind kind of wander about on some subjects that Joshua has brought to my attention lately. So, one of them is multidimensional being. We touched on that some in our last couple of videos that you are more than just what you appear to be at the moment. As a matter of fact, Joshua has used this phrase, and I'll paraphrase it. But what you recognize about yourself is just the tiniest tip of a vast, unseen being. That which you are is incredible and multidimensional. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. So multidimensional, you're already in 3D, right? When we're here on this planet, we take on this three-dimensional form and we operate in what appears to be a three-dimensional reality. So there are three dimensions to our physical existence of space. And then we add that fourth dimension called time. So we live in this four-dimensional reality pretty much, operating in the 3D and marking time as if it is real. And when we are here, when we're in the physical, yes, time is very real. You cannot deny that you had a date of birth and that time is progressing in a linear fashion as you go about living your life. And at some point, you will die. The truth is, none of us get out of here alive. So, yes, the illusion of time makes it look like you had a beginning and you have an ending. However, your multidimensional self did not ever begin and thus cannot ever end. You are eternal and infinite being now. You are a consciousness, a life force. And life force goes beyond the 3D and escapes the 4D of time and begins to experience realms of reality that have different frameworks and different rules, regulations, and what's allowed to take place there. So when we're in our etheric form, when we're not yet choosing an incarnation, and we're kind of, you might say, between physical existence, we also get the chance to explore these other dimensions that we dwell in much more directly than we are able to while we are focusing our energy on a physical existence. So even though we're living our physical existence right now, we can experience these other dimensions. And the one dimension of reality closely tied to human experience, inescapable from human experience, absolutely a part of human reality, is the dream state. The dream state is really a very real dimension in which you operate. And in the dream state, we have the good fortune of training ourselves to recognize that we create our own reality with a thought. So in a dream, your thoughts immediately manifest without time delay, like we have in this physical dimension. Also, in the dream state, you have less physical sensations. So I've had this dream. I'll share it with you. I was sword fighting with someone, and I got pierced by the sword. It plunged right through me, and in the dream, I really didn't feel it. Didn't feel the pain of what it might be like to be pierced with a sword. And that's what it's like in the dream state. Oftentimes, you'll experience things that would cause you physical pain, but in reality, they don't. On the other hand, how the dream state and the physical body interact is where those overlaps are, that physical body is uncomfortable and or sexually aroused and or whatever, and that leaks into the dream. It gets into the thoughts and becomes a part of the manifestation. So I have also had dreams where I'm walking through the snow or it's really, really cold, and I wake up realizing I need a blanket. So our physical being can reach us in the dream state a lot easier than our dream self can reach us in the physical state. I'll just repeat that and let it sink in, give you something to think about. The physical body can reach the mind energy during a dream, in the dream state. The physical body that is sleeping, if it's uncomfortable or having needs, it can reach you in the dream state. However, what you're experiencing in the dream state doesn't as easily reach us in the physical. Now, let's say you just had a nightmare. You woke up from this nightmare and your heart is pounding and your breathing is frightened. You're on high alert because you just had a nightmare. So you woke with thoughts of fear, and physiologically, your body was having a fear response. I have also had nightmares in this lifetime. So I know how that happens. And Joshua has taught me a great deal about paying attention to the links between our physical being and the experience of the dream state. However, in the dream state, what we're expected to be grasping and learning is how quickly we create our reality with just a thought. In a dream, when you have a thought, it instantly manifests, no time delay. Now, we are very fortunate actually in the physical state that we do have time delay because sometimes we have thoughts that are not something we want to produce immediately. We don't want them to immediately manifest. So I used in the book, The Seventh Major Understanding, I think one of the examples I used is that imagine you're camping, you're in a tent, you're sleeping or going to sleep, and you hear a noise outside the tent in your campground, and you might immediately think bear. You do not want to immediately manifest that bear because actually it could just be a squirrel, or it could be the wind blowing something about, or a deer, something harmless to you, pretty much. I mean, less threatened. So we have time delay in our creations in the physical state. And that's the nice thing about living in a environment where the time frame is slow. You do create your reality with your thoughts, however, it's not instantaneous like it is in the dream. We have time to think things through and say, hey, is that what I really want to create? I don't think so. I don't want to create a bear in my campground for sure. But what I do want to create is my safety and my survival. And that's why our bodies are wired for survival. The other dimensions that we visit include that of the celestial. You can visit the dimension in which the angels sing and move about. And generally speaking, when I am there, I am still and I am listening to the song. They seem very healing, and also they bring a deep sense of peace and at other times worship. So the angel songs are beyond earthly music. It's penetrating your energy field so completely. And I want you to know that, and this is where things get complicated about oneness, is that not only are you visiting the celestial realm, but you are also participating in it. You exist as an angel. You are an angel being. There is a part of your whole self that participates in what it is to be angel and to be in that line of service. Angels are messengers. Angels are protectors. Angels are givers of comfort. One of the archangels that Joshua is manifesting as is called Emmanuel. And Emmanuel means God is with us. And whenever I am in the presence of Emmanuel, I feel incredibly whole, utterly safe, completely at peace, and immensely compassionate, loving, filled with love for all of humankind, all of humanity, filled with love for the earth and all physical manifestations of planets, solar systems, galaxies. God is with us. And as we have been exploring together in our oneness, God is us. So this is a dimension that is less easily accessible to us while we're living a physical lifetime, and yet we're never separated from it. And that's another example Joshua has given me, is that if all that is an ocean, you are a vessel, a bucket, scooped out of that ocean, and yet never separated from it. That which is within you is the consciousness of the source itself. You are God. You are angel. And you guess what else? You also get to explore shadow. So you aren't always angel like or beautiful, shall we say. You get to explore all that is in the course of eternity. And you have eternity in which to have these experiences. So there's no hurry and there's no worry. You are an eternal being on a endless journey of experience. And we love to experience three-dimensional existence. Isn't that interesting? Both Seth and Joshua have made that really clear to me, in that incarnation, being physically here, is not a punishment in any way. You're not sent here to learn something or to pay off bad karma from another lifetime. Joshua and Seth agree that is impossible. The karma is not accumulated in such a way that there's some kind of debt sheet being managed by who knows who, and that you are the one who has to come back. Oh, you got to pay for this sin, that crime, this, whatever crap you did. No, no, it's all instant karma. Our actions get immediate responses. Our actions are based on our choices, and our choices lead to our behavior. Our behavior gets immediate response. Karma is instant. And oh, it may look like, well, Joe Blow seems to be getting away with stuff that is not cool. Uh, Joe Blow is getting away with committing crimes, and he's not been caught and he's not been punished. Just not for me to worry about. It's not my karma. I don't care. I do know that. I have faith that the balance sheet is kept perfectly balanced at all times. Balance. This is my symbol for balance. I'll tell you more about Taoism in the future, but if I were to choose a religion, I do not practice any religion, I would be a Taoist. Yeah, that fits me best. Anyway, what I want in my search of how I express my energy in the physical dimension and the other dimensions of reality that I get to visit while I am still having my lifetime, I want balance. I want to be there in the state of absolute balance with my energy not tilted in any particular way. And yet, now let's talk about purpose. You see, there are energies that call to our attention that inspire us to make choices and take action. And some of those energies cause us to call upon some part of our whole self that is an extreme part of our spectrum of balance. So there are situations, let's say, there are energies that sometimes Joshua is around and he needs to be full on, very forceful. So calling upon all the energies that we assign to masculine, forceful, aggressive, and with the ability to change outcomes. And that is an extreme of our total self because we also have this energy that is assigned to feminine. And I don't know why. I'll talk about that too. Why this energy of receptivity, passivity, or even the ability to nurture, to be generous in surrender and giving and sacrifice. We assign this to feminine energy. And then the productive, aggressive, we assign to masculine energy. And this is because we are stuck in this dualistic opinion about how male and female express themselves in the world. So, because in the world we see men as more forceful, generally speaking, they're bigger, they're louder, they have more muscle. So, they take up more room and they are less intimidated, shall we say, or at least they pretend to be less intimidated by what's going on out here. Whereas with feminine, they're very receptive to what is happening out here. And they also recognize, oh, this person is not feeling very well. Like, what can I do to help? How can I support? Whereas men, if they observe that, they'll say, oh, this person's not doing so well. And hey, maybe I can give him some advice and tell him, you'll get through it. Buck up. You'll be fine. And that's men's way of nurturing each other. Doesn't mean they don't care and they don't feel. It's just they have a different approach. And is that approach nature or nurture? In other words, have men been taught to be that way because that's masculine and that's how you need to behave in the world to be seen as a man? Or is it something that's natural? Well, I will tell you, I have experience with the powers of testosterone as a hormone, and it can be very intense. It can cause aggression if it's very high. So, men with high testosterone do need to manage their emotions and manage their reactions, let's say, more cautiously than men with lower testosterone, who seem to be less immediately aggressive or assertive in situations that they don't like. They can be more comfortable being uncomfortable in the moment. Whereas males with high testosterone uh, tend to be reactionary and want to change what's going on through their own power and right now. So our hormones do make a difference. And the chemical soup that we create within ourselves because of our mind, because of how our mind is functioning, we create chemical reactions within the body. So when we learn to train the mind to create a more comfortable chemical soup within ourselves, then the physical reactions we have when moments are stressful are metered and we can stay better in balance rather than going one extreme to another, either fight or flight. I'm going to stand here and fight you, or I'm going to just slip away where I can get away from whatever's making me uncomfortable. Again, this is a dualistic look at the entire spectrum, but to be in balance, to be centered, to observe the environment I'm creating around myself and allow myself to be in harmony within allows me to express that harmony more clearly into the environment. And the energy of who I am affects the environment. So, therefore, if I am at peace, I am affecting peace in the environment. However, if the environment becomes too violent and I recognize that my influence is not going to change it right now, then I will move away, just slip away, go hang out in some place where I feel more comfortable, welcome, and at ease. All right, I've started to ramble on, but here's what I wanted to say about multidimensional being. Yes, we are human being and so much more. You are angel being. You are being of light. You are God. And therefore, you are every energy that can exist. You are everything, all that is. So when we can experience our whole self without fear, then we can experience our whole self in balance, in peace, in comfort. And that's the goal of awakening to oneness. That really is that we learn to create within ourselves these environments of peace, love, and abundance. And you know what? Then that's what's going to happen out there. When you look out there, you will find peace, love, and abundance. And we're ready for that. We're ready to create this new reality. It's yet to be done. This is the new game that's calling to us to be played upon the world stage. And we get to participate in it. We are here right now at this time when what the seeds are being planted, and every moment of love and attention you pour into these seeds, the more they grow. And the new age, the golden age, it has so many names, will be upon us. The age of peace, love, and abundance. I'm ready for that. Well, I have rambled on quite a while. I will let Joshua say some words to you now, as if he hasn't been close to me the whole time. And yeah, you are an entity just like Joshua. Remember that. And then we'll conclude for today. Hello, beloved one. It is always my honor to speak to you. I observed how Jordan enjoys this conversation he's sharing with you about multidimensional being. And I understand the challenge of grasping how great you really are while you are still living this lifetime. I would also like to talk to you about living multiple lifetimes. And yet, this is the only one. This is the only one. Live this lifetime as if now is the only moment that matters. Here is the only place you exist. So you are always here now. Make this the most important focus of your life. I am always here now. And in this moment is the point of power, the point of choice. I have eternity in which to experience every lifetime upon the earth that I choose to. I am now and forever shall be inseparable from human nature, human existence. Therefore, in the course of eternity, on your infinite journey to experience all that is, you will know what it is to walk in light and in shadow. You will welcome all parts of the whole self, from the most brilliant, dazzling, bright light to the deepest, darkest place of loss, to the deepest, darkest place of futility. For these are experiences that allow you to grow. You see, to the depths that you can feel your agony equals the heights to which you can experience your bliss. Be whole, be complete. And as you experience your wholeness, when you have been through the dark night of your soul, and you have also walked in the light of the love, you can achieve a place of balance within. And you can have a connection and compassion with every being that is suffering and every being that is in joy, bliss, and happiness. It is not intended for you as a whole being to get stuck in any part of this continuum. You are not intended to be always in bliss nor always in agony. This experience is on the extreme of the continuum of your whole self, is for your growth, so that you can relate to all that is, because you have not only heard of it or understood it, you have experienced it. For knowledge and wisdom is not equal to experience. Experience is. the most impactful teacher for that which you experience in what you call real world. Lessons stick. They stay with you. And you are able to expand yourself in knowing, yes, I have experienced what it is to walk in the shoes of the holy, or to walk in the shoes of the criminal, the crooked, the cheater. Oh, I don't like to own that. I put it in shadow and turn my face away toward the light. And the more I deny what is in my shadow, the bigger it grows until it leaks out in ways that are often exaggerated and embarrassing, shameful, stressful moments. Because I denied what was in my shadow until it had to erupt for me to look at it. Yes, I opened Jordan's eyes. I don't do that very often. But I was animated, wanted to make a point, so I opened the physical eyes. And sometimes I do that, so I don't want you to be surprised if sometimes I am speaking to you with these eyes open. Doesn't mean I see you through his physical eyes. To me, you are all just light energy collected in a ball of sorts. And I recognize each and every one of you have your own light signature. And I know who you are. To me, though I don't see your visage, I'm not interested in the physical dimensions of your body. You are a ball of glowing light. And that light shifts and changes and mutates as you change how you think and you feel. But you have a unique spiritual light signature. And I recognize you. I know who you are. Some of you are my chosen. You know who you are. I'm waiting now for you to get a hold of me. So with that, I will conclude my comments. Thank you so much for your time. It has been my joy to speak to you. And I bid you good day. Thank you for listening. We hope you heard something to ponder and gained inspiration for your journey. Please join us again next time. Joshua says, let the light grow, let love show, and let your life be fun.